What is up, everybody? And yes, we are back with another episode of the Commissioner's Podcast. I am the host and commissioner, the Gloth Man, the one and only, the truth, the answer. I am the motherfucking greatest. Um, Now, I just want to start this episode off by saying, uh, it's been a tough season for me. All right. And I know a lot of you take joy in that, have a lot of fun with that. They enjoy it, and that's fine, man. I may have earned that, but I am the motherfucking savior, the god of this league, if you will, right? So I'll be back, and just because I have crazy amounts of haters on me, it's only making me tougher mentally. You know what I mean? I battle a lot of things here, and I'll be the first to say it here. And this is what encourages me the last few weeks and the seasons to come is I've made just a bunch of managerial mistakes. The front office did the job, right? We recruited, we scouted, and the draft was well. The roster is fine. The roster has playmakers, has good players on it. It's just that I haven't made the right decisions day to day managerially throughout the season. So that's where the mistakes are made. And listen, it's resulted in a few losses. I could be 500 right now in it with a chance to make the playoffs. But all things said and done, it's tough sport. This thing is, man. It's a tough sport. I'm getting ready to move, so I don't really give a fuck about the backgrounds. All right. It's a tough sport. And the important thing is you got to just step back sometimes and reflect. And that's what this has been. The last week, I thought if I just didn't do the podcast, I would win. I tried some stuff, but you have to take a look inside. You got to look inside and say, hey, I'm the problem, right? But at the same time, I'm the solution, right? I'm the solution too. So, just got to strap up the helmet, strap up the pads, okay? Set the fucking lineup and let them boys cook, all right? Don't overthink it. Don't tinker. You know what I mean? I've been a tinkerer the last year and a half, and it's cost me big time. But as you can see, Commissioner Solo Dolo, probably for the best. I love you all, but it's just I feel like the show's gone too analytical, man. Too much numbers, reading off, the thing. You know. There we go. So just kind of rolling off the top, being a vibe kind of thing is kind of where I'm at. Let's see all my Lego boxes in the background. Hell yeah, vibes. All right, Cameron, what's going on here? This has never happened before. There we go. All right. But let's just do a check-in on both leagues. I know B-Liga, you guys have been battling. I apologize for the lapse of coverage on you guys. You guys have been great. Let's take a look at the standings currently right now. As it lies, Jake and Clint at the top of the league at 7-3. All right, Clint has the edge in points by 20-something, 21, so he would technically be first, but Clint kind of defeating the odds here. I mean, he's got a good running back. He's kind of had to piece together wide receiver, and it's been not bad. I mean, he's got Smith and Jigba's had some big games. Cortland Sutton's been pretty good. And he's got Cedric Tillman coming out of nowhere from the Browns. That's pretty solid. And both his tight ends started picking up some slack. So, feel pretty good there. On top of that, you got Josh Allen. So, there he goes. America's team, 7-3. Jay Jetta's the highlight on his team. Jaden Daniels. He's got a solid team here, man. A lot of red players on his team. If you look at his roster, just a lot of red in their pictures. But Is what it is. But he's 7-3. He's in second place. And then you got Barry's boys. Hey, Barry's boys. Hey, buddy. Don't fucking start losing all these games now. Started off 5-0. He's lost 4 of his last 5. Chef Boy HC and Teal Barbie are 6-4 as well. Barry's boys does have the edge in points on both those guys, but Teal Barbie definitely is the lower of the 3. And we move on to the 5-5 teams. We got 3 5-5s. You got Chi-Town, Bear Down, Purdy's Purdy, and Big Daddy D, all at 5-5. Blah 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 blah. Remy's got the lowest points in the league. Blah blah blah. Never mind, that's Manfred's bitch, but he's very close. Only 70 points off. There's that. So those are the 5-5s. You got Gus Johnson at 4-6. Gets Nico Collins back this week. Let's see if that makes a difference for him. And then you got 3 guys at 3-7. We got McPherson Fan Club, Manfred's bitch, and the Commissioner's Honor Roll. All at 3-5 or 3-7. Sorry. I clear them both in points by a significant margin, 200 points. Let's just put this also into perspective here, boys. There's only 4 teams that score more points than me. And all those teams have winning records. So, that's where I'm like, I'm not upset about the roster. I'm upset about what I've done as the manager. It's been brutal. Yeah, that's kind of the rankings. Right now, as it stands, Cade would be last place right now. He's got only 1,010 points. It helps if you play guys that aren't on bye week. That helps. And if they're on IR, it also helps if you take those guys out of your lineup too. Not telling you what to do, but also that helps to score points and helps to win. Is what it is. Let's see. So that's kind of the breakdown of where we stand now. Upcoming, or let's talk B Liga for a minute here. B Liga, let's see how it stands right now. Okay. Oof. Hurts so good. Cam Erdman is 7-3. He's on a 4-game winning streak. He feels pretty good. Then you have Prestige Worldwide. He's on a 2-game losing streak. Or no, I'm sorry. He's lost 3 out of his last 4, I think. 7-3 though. 7-3. He's got McCaffrey coming back. Feels pretty good about his squad. He does need a receiver. Godwin's out. He's a little locked up now at receiver. Starting Xavier Worthy, Tyler Lockett, Romo Dunze. Could be better, but his running backs are solid. He got a good quarterback. So you hope that can be enough. This pimple is just staring at me. Fucker. Bitch. 6-4 teams. We got Baked Mayfield, Kirko Chains. All right, that's Chase Schulenberg and Isaac DeTiro. Isaac DeTiro, 4-game win streak. So hit a little bit of a heater. And Kirko Chains is on a 2-game win streak. So he's moving up. 5-5, we have Swollen Units, Pickens Up Your Sister, who are both on losing streaks. Well, 1 game for Dubois and 2 for Schaefer. Schaefer's kind of fallen from grace, man. It's kind of a early favorite, and he's kind of fallen. 5-5, needs to get a win. And then we have 3-4 and 2s. We got Slick Konsenko, Gridiron Gods, and then What Are You Doing, Step Burrow. But Slick Konsenko, Gridiron Gods just got a win last week. And What Are You Doing, Step Burrow is on a 2-game losing streak. Is not favorable in points, so he's not looking good for him. But a 2-8 Hall, Mai, and Jigbas is on an 8-game losing streak and is the lowest scoring team in the league. So that's kind of where B Liga stands. It's kind of up for the grabs. There's a lot of guys right in the fringe, right in the middle there. Get a couple wins here at the end. They can move themselves up in a good position. You got guys up at 7-3 that just need to get, one or two wins, secure a playoff spot, and then go from there. So pretty solid league wide just trends. It's good to see the league's pretty competitive, Even at the bottom, it's not just clear cut worst player right now. Obviously Hallmeyer and Jigbas is not doing very well, but anything can happen, man. I mean, fuck, Will's got 2 in a row. Who would have thought that, right? Also, update Will, I'm not giving you anyone from my team because I hope that you are last place. So any type of trade that you want to make with me, just save it for yourself because it's not going to happen. I don't care if it's the best trade in the world. I do not care. I do not want your team to get better. I only want to see you lose. Back on track. Let's hand out some like mid-year awards. All right. And I think manager for Premier League, I think the manager of the year so far, midway, is got to be Clint. 7-3. His team is very underrated. Ow, fuck. And he's put himself in a really good position, not only to make the playoffs, but maybe get a top seed in the playoffs. So, good for him. I think that's kind of where it is. I think the surprise, maybe comeback player of the year is let's give that to probably Chef Boy HC. I feel like he's underproduced the last few years. And he's a 6-4. He's 6-4 now with a good chance to make the playoffs and chance to make a run. His team's not bad. His team's got a good team. Come on, bro. What the fuck? Here we go. Obviously, the underperformer is going to be myself. Obviously, we knew Cade, Will have been bottom of the barrel last, several years, so we kind of knew what their expectations were. But I did not expect to go back-to-back years struggling at the bottom. So definitely the underperformer of the year is myself. And, I guess that's all I have for awards. So I think, and then for B Liga, I think manager of the year, I think so far, it's got to be Hurt So Good, man. I know Jose's been balling, but, a key injury to Godwin, and it kind of has hurt you enough to where you've lost a bunch of games in a row where before it looked like you were unstoppable. So I'm going to give it to Hurt So Good, battling, coming back, and getting to 7-3 on a 4-game win streak. So we can do that for him. Underperformer, I got to do Hallmeyer and Jigbas. I expected more. I've heard some of your, your other teams in fantasy are doing well. Kind of expected more in this league, but shit happens. But yeah, you're the underachiever right now. Comeback player, I'm gonna say Baked Mayfield. I mean, 4-game win streak. He was 2-4 to start that win streak, and now he's 6-4. Yeah, that's right, math. Yeah. And now he's 6-4, third place. Good chance to make the playoffs. So I'm going to give him the comeback player. I like it. Looking ahead, let's just talk about the philosophy of fantasy football. And I find it fascinating. I find it really fascinating how everyone approaches it. And when I think about my strategy specifically this year was to load up on receivers and just have a lot of depth there and feel good about it. And then kind of have some underrated running backs kind of help push me in. The problem with that is that I got too antsy to trade. Like I got too thinking about, I can trade for a really good running back. The thing is, I got to remember the guys in this league, they're not trying to really give away any value at all, ever, right? They're trying to finesse you. They're trying to make you a meme in the group chat, right? So what I need to do next year is just I'll load up again, whether it's running back or receiver. I don't know. Depends on what draft pick I get and some things that happen over the offseason. That's getting way ahead. But I'm just not going to trade. Like, what's the point of trading? Injuries are so prominent in this fantasy football league. You know, one injury can devastate a whole team. I mean, we've seen it happen. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to load up and I'm just going to say, hey, fuck you guys. I have all the good players. You guys don't have any because your team's all hurt. And even if I get my best player hurt, I still have good replacements behind it. That's kind of where I'm at with because trading in this league is just really only like 1 in 4 trades is actually like a pretty decent value trade. Now, I'm not knocking you guys. I mean, like, some of you are idiots and that's just how it goes. But I think for me, I can't have a strategy. I can't get too, oh man, I can trade. I need to get out of that mindset. You know, trading's just not really on the table for me anymore. Because this just never really helps you. You end up trading a player that is better in value, and you take like a lesser value piece at a different position. Like trading DK Metcalf for Zach Moss, like, gag me. That was so terrible. Zach Moss sucks. And I did it because I was desperate at running back. Granted, I don't think Metcalf's been that great the last few weeks, but still though, probably wouldn't have done that trade. But oh man, I had a lot of energy for this podcast when I started, but I'm losing interest. Eesh. I guess we can talk about upcoming matchups. My matchup is with Clint, man. I got Clint this week. So I think with a win, he can clinch non-relegation. I don't know. I didn't read Remy's whole text because I didn't really care about it. All I heard was or Zach win, or Zach lost, or Zach lost, or Zach lost. Fuck you guys. How about that? How about I win out and ruin all your fucking hopes and dreams? Make you sweat to the last week. How about that? Clint, I'm coming for you this week, buddy. Chuba Hubbard on bye. I don't care about your other boys. It's going to be a battle, man. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be my receivers versus your running backs. Right? Jahmyr Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor. Thought he had a third running back, but he does not. Against A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Cooper Kupp. I like the matchup. Herbert against Allen. He's got the edge, but Allen's playing KC. I feel like there's a turnover or two in there. Cortland Sutton, Smith and Jigba, Ced Tillman taking on Nick Chubb, David Montgomery. I like my chances, bro. Nick Chubb, 4th game back, fresh off the bye. I think he can go off for a tutty or two. David Montgomery against the sad-ass Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, he's got Gibbs, so we got the two punch there. But I mean, if there's a week for him to lose, it could be this one. Could be a trap game for him. He's feeling on top of the world. He's playing one of the worst teams in the league. Bam! A.J. Brown, 40 bomb on Thursday night. Who says no? Who says no? Not me, bitch. I'm saying yes. So we'll see what goes down. That's the matchup that I care about, really. And then kind of just going through everybody else's. We got Purdy taking on Chi-Town Bear Down. That's a big matchup for myself because they're both 5-5. Don't really care who wins. Just hope one of you does. And then you got the McPherson Fan Club, who's very confident. A source told me that he said he's very confident that he's going to beat Jake this week, and he said he'd put money on it. I don't know. That's just what I heard. I trust this source, but basically Will came out and said that he's going to guarantee a win this week against America's team. So Jake, take that as you will. Like I said, I'd prefer Will. I already know I want Will to lose, so I'm going to predict him to lose. Then you got Gus Johnson taking on Manfred's bitch. Let's see, does Manfred bitch have any bye weeks? No, so I guess all of his players will play this week, so good for Cade. Shout out to you. A lot of question marks over on the side of Gus Johnson. Is he going to get screwed again by playing Nico Collins? McCaffrey with his fucking duct taped Achilles, both of them. Is he going to play? I do not know. He does have Brian Thomas Jr. on the bench. But like I said, I don't really care. Prefer K to lose here, but I wouldn't mind Gus Johnson losing here as well. That would just be really funny. Okay, so next matchup, Barry's boys taking it on Big Daddy D. It's kind of a big matchup for those two themselves. Barry's boys trying to stop his slide. He's been losing a lot lately. Had a lot to say. Got really confident for no reason other than being 6-0, I guess. But it's lost a lot. Or, I'm sorry, he's 5-0. He didn't go 6-0. But his team still looks really good. See if Tyreek Hill can get a groove. Juwan Jennings in there. CeeDee Lamb in the flex. Not bad, but Dylan's a bad week for Dylan. Got a lot of buys this week. He's starting Russell Wilson. He's also starting Elijah Moore. For those of you who don't know, Elijah Moore is the 77th ranked receiver. He has 6.4 points. He's rostered in 7% of ESPN leagues. That just shows the desperation that he's in right now. Literally everyone on his bench is on bye week, except for Zach Charbonnet and Jake Ferguson. But I don't know, man. Who cares who wins? To be honest, I don't. You guys probably do, but at this point, I only care about me winning. Chef Boy HC taking on Teal Barbie. This is a very skewed matchup at the moment. Looks like there's a lot of bye weeks for Teal Barbie over here. Yep. He's starting Rico Dowdle and Khalil Shakir and Quentin Johnston and Taysom Hill and Ricky Pearsall. So either Teal Barbie's going to score 200 points this week on a crazy week, or Chef Boy HC is going to blow him out. Because Chef Boy HC is basically full strength. Yeah, he's full strength. So we'll find out. So that's the upcoming matchups. Let me know who you guys think are going to win. Put your comment. Hey, nah, fuck that, dude. I'm going to win this week. Fuck you. Let's see what you guys have to say. I just don't want you on the podcast. All right. The trade deadline is coming up. I think this is the last week. Nope, never mind. We still have another week. That's a different league I'm in. But the bye week or the trade deadline is the 24th. So if you guys want to make a last minute trade, go for it. Just know that collusion will be snuffed out, and you will be banned from the league. Talking to the brain cells, I have a feeling they're going to try some sneaky shit. Maybe load up Jake's team because it's obviously the best out of the three. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Will, I know you like trading off assets for no reason at all, so you only got a couple weeks to do that left. And B-Liga. We'll go over some B-Liga here. Yeah, B-Liga matchups. We got What Are You Doing, Stepbrother, taking on Pickens Up Your Sister. Pickens Up Your Sister needs the win. He's 5-5. He's lost a few lately and needs to get it back on the winning side. And What Are You Doing, Stepbro is not doing well right now. 2-game losing streak. Not a lot of points being scored for him. So, yeah. Hurts So Good, number one team in the league right now, taking on Swollen Units. Should be a close matchup. Hurts So Good's looking for a kicker. So we'll see what happens there, but it's a good matchup. Hallmai and Jigba's taking on Slick Konsenko. Konsenko needs the win. Needs a win here to get back into the playoff conversation. Taking on the worst team. Got to beat the worst team in the league right now. We'll see what goes down. Baked Mayfield taking on Kirko Chains. Some of the two guys that are doing really good right now. Both on winning streaks. Who will continue their winning streak? Baked Mayfield's on a 4-gamer. Can he get to 5? And then can Kirko Chains get to 3 in a row? We'll find out, man. It should be a good matchup. Prestige Worldwide taking on the Gridiron Gods. Prestige has been on a little bit of a slide. We'll see if McCaffrey's return can help him out. But Gridiron God sticking around, struggled, but has won a few lately and has a chance to sneak back in if he can get some help from the rest of the league. So, but he got to get a win against one of the better teams. So we'll find out. But those are the matchups. That's the breakdown. Mid-season kind of, I guess, a little more than mid-season, but listen, the lines in the sand are drawn. Yes, most of the playoff spots are pretty much filled. We got 99, 99, 99, 97, 92% chance to make the playoffs for Cup. Chef Boy, Teal Barbie, America's Team, Barry's Boys. But nothing's guaranteed for these mid-tier guys. Big Daddy D, Chi-Town, Purdy, Gus Johnson. These guys are not locks. And just so you know, I got 21% chance, boys. Which means I have a fucking good chance. Because I believe in the percentages. I believe in the gods. I believe in the fantasy lords. Alright? I'm coming. And this, in my overthinking stops now. Stops today. Alright? I do not care about losing anymore, right? The fear of losing is gone. I'm just going to go balls to the wall and leave the chips where they lie. And that's what I should have been doing this whole time. I've been so scared of losing that I've hurt my team. It's time to put that aside. Go balls to the wall. Get her done. Like fucking King Kong would do. Think he cared about dying when he went up that Empire State Building? No. No, he did not. He cared about fucking doing it. He cared about fucking doing the impossible. Shout out. So, basically, I'm King Kong. Alright? And I'm coming for you, motherfuckers. Bow! We got a few minutes. What should we talk about? Oh, shout out to our newest sponsor, Gloss Glove Repair. Check him out. Does really good work relacing gloves. So check him out at gloss_glove_repair it's on Instagram. It's great work, man. Another thing, just update on the GFR. They were on vacation. They had 2 weeks vacation, so they'll be back next week. I know you guys were devastated, but they are kind of separate from the podcast, so it was just kind of a coincidence that they went on vacation right as I kind of went on my little sacrificial lamb shit, sacrificing the podcast for a week just to see if I can get a win. But yeah, they'll be back next week. I gave them the vacation time, kind of in the middle season. A lot of stuff's going on. So they'll be back next week. It'll be a fun Thanksgiving edition. So that's awesome. Shout out to those guys over there. And we'll get Remy out here. The punishments. Maybe we get him on the pod. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Kind of goes against my whole new vibe. Dude, this fucking pimple's like my third eye, bro. I'm watching you with this. Yeah, we'll get the punishment. The punishment is known. We know what the punishment is. Remy does, at least. It was decided. It came down to the last vote. It came down to Clint. I had to text him separate and figure out the vote. It came down to Clint. So we'll see what goes down. That's how close this race was. So that's exciting news. We'll figure that out as we go. And you know what, guys? Thank you for checking me out. I know I'm a narcissist. I know it. But I appreciate you guys sticking around with me. Appreciate you guys checking out the pod and being a fan of the pod and being just a community member of this league. That's what we're trying to build. Just a nice community of fantasy football trash talk. You know, you guys all know ball. And except for maybe a couple of you, you know who I'm talking about. But it's fun to be around you guys. It's fun to be in this league. And sometimes the emotions get the better of us, but it's always good to take a step back and just be like, you know what? This shit is fun. And if you just kind of take the fear of losing out, it's a lot more fun. And more wins are going to come your way. So that's all for this episode's podcast. I'm your host and commissioner. And for some of you, I'm your idol. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love my subjects. Have a great day, baby. This has been another episode of the Commissioner's Podcast. Hope everyone loses except me.